Hey, I looked through a bunch of games releasing on Steam next month and wanted to share a few of the ones that piqued my interest. Let me know if I missed anything. Yeah, I know everything is eclipsed by the new Star Wars game, but maybe before that, after that, or instead of that, you'll check out some of these games. Passpartout is a game that will make you feel the joys and sorrows of being an artist. You'll love the feeling of creating something beautiful, but you'll also feel the frustration of trying to make a living from your art. This game is a sequel to the popular 2017 game Passpartout, and it builds on the same core gameplay mechanics. It still has all the sadness of barely scraping by paying rent and everyone criticizing your magnificent work of art. I loved the first game, so I have high expectations for the second. It looks like Passpartout 2 is going to be an even bigger and better game than the first. You can talk to more people and even paint around the town. Finally, some plein air painting. You too can become a depressed artist on April 4th. The Last Case of Benedict Fox falls somewhere between an action roguelike and a Metroidvania. I'm not a genre lawyer, so please don't come after me. The game involves investigating clues and battling demons, reminiscent of the Constantine franchise, Anyway, there's everything you would expect here: platforming, puzzles, and combat. Although the combat mechanics are difficult to gauge from the trailers, it appears to involve a mix of melee, magic, and ranged attacks that should keep players engaged. The game's visuals are particularly striking and the reason I was drawn to it. With a strong sense of atmosphere, there's some pretty looking particle effects. The Last Case of Benedict Fox will be released to play on April 27th. Coffee Talk Episode 2, Hibiscus and Butterfly, is a visual novel and sequel to the well-received Coffee Talk. In this game, you run a coffee shop and chat up the customers. The game is set in a fantasy world and features a diverse cast of characters, such as a satyr and a banshee. You can make a variety of coffee drinks and use different ingredients to create unique recipes. You can even apply your own latte art. This is a sequel with new drinks and ingredients, so it's not an expansion with a 2 slapped on. That reminds me that the co-creator and writer of the first game, Mohamed Fahmy, passed away in 2022. He was 32 years old. His death was a shock to everyone. Anyway, I hope this one's in his memory. The release date is set for April 20th, but if you wanted to check it out right now, the demo is available. Flooded is a city builder with a focus on resource management. The game actually calls itself a reversed city builder because as time goes on, your land is consumed by water. You must manage your resources and build your city carefully to survive. You can try and build in the middle of the island, but the resources might not always be there. You will definitely lose land, and managing that along with pirate attacks will be stressful. Oh yeah, pirates drive up and blast your buildings, so you'll need defenses too. I played the demo and I really enjoyed the concept. I focused on maximizing my land and resources, which is something I do in all games. Flooded seems like it's going to be a challenging game with some happy failures along the way. The demo is available on Steam now, and the full game releases on April 12th. Tron Identity is a visual novel developed by Bithell Games, the studio behind Thomas Was Alone, Subsurface Circular, and John Wick Hex. The game is set in the Tron universe, that's probably very obvious, and follows the story of a detective program named Query who is tasked with investigating a crime on the grid. Tron fans have been burned by Disney in the past. However, the developer of Tron Identity has promised to stay true to the original film, which is a positive sign. So I'm cautiously optimistic about it. I'm a fan of the Tron universe, and I think it has a lot of potential for a great visual novel. The developer has a good track record, and I'm hoping that they can deliver a game that Tron fans will enjoy. However, I am also aware of the risks involved, and I am not going to get my hopes up too high. We will all find out on April 11th if Tron Identity is a success or not. Moons of Darsalon is a physics-based puzzle game about rescuing people. You'll need to overcome the laws of physics of this game and your not-so-bright AI companions. It's about learning how the AI works. They're not always going to do exactly what you say or what you want them to do. Moons of Darsalon requires you to think creatively to solve puzzles and save lives. Feels like it takes inspiration from Lemmings. There's a lot going on here, and if I had to pick one game on the list as the weirdest, it would be this one. The demo is fun, I enjoy how creative it feels to solve the puzzles, but the controls are a little wonky. Controlling the character didn't feel natural. Might not be a deal breaker for this game. You can try the demo now or wait for the full release on April 19th. I recommend trying the demo. Roots of Pacha is a life simulation farming game in the Stone Age. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Learn new skills, farm, do a little animal husbandry, and make new friends with the community. It has co-op, which is a big plus for me since I enjoyed playing Stardew Valley with my wife. I'm loving the art style here, and they have weird animals to ride. Heck yes! Roots of Pacha seems unique enough to not be called a clone, but there sure are a lot of these types of games piling up. Either there's a group of people that can't get enough of these games, or we're not fully saturated with this trend yet? I don't know. Roots of Pacha has intrigued me more than many of the other releases on Steam though. We have time to decide since this one is releasing later in the month on April 25th. Stray Blade is an action-adventure game that looks like a single-player MMO. The focus of the game is on the combat with a claim of epic boss fights. There are 30 different kinds of weapons and each has a different playstyle. So yes, quite a focus on the combat. There's also a lot of equipment and a skill tree. However, all the trailers show only combat. This makes you wonder what else you actually do in the game besides fight. I have no idea what's driving this character to do anything. I'm sure it's quests though, it's always quests. It looks really fun and I hope it's one of those games that has a lot of character. It feels a little like a AAA release without the budget. We'll find out more on the actual release date of April 20th. Curse of the Sea Rats is a Metroidvania with local co-op. You're a pirate rat, except you weren't always a pirate rat. You see, you were turned into a rat by a pirate witch. There's a lot of pirates in this game, and they want to call this a Ratoidvania. I'll allow it. This is a quick list of all the features in the game. Platforming, bosses, unique abilities for the 4 different characters, and an upgrade tree. Oh, I've already mentioned the local co-op, but that's a feature too. My only concern is the combat. When watching the sword swings land, it doesn't seem like they have any impact at all. Very difficult to tell from a video though what it feels like to control. I sure wish they had a demo. Even if this game is a bit by the numbers, it looks interesting enough to consider. The scheduled release date is April 6th. Did you want me to tell you about all the early access titles releasing this month that I know about, or just the ones that I think are interesting? This month I'll list them all. Let me know which way you want me to do it. Beyond Contact is a sci-fi survival game. It can be played solo or with friends. The game hasn't been updated in about a year, which worries me. I'm not sure that's how early access works best, but it's being released on April 4th. Lone Fungus is a super cute Metroidvania. Seems straightforward, and the reviews are quite positive. It's releasing on April 7th. War Tales is an open-world, turn-based RPG. You control a group of mercenaries in search for wealth. That's what I assume all mercenaries are out to get. It's releasing April 12th. Stranded: Alien Dawn is a single-player survival sim. You help a small group of space travelers build on a new planet and survive. The full release is April 25th. April sure has some interesting releases. As always, I'm not psychic and release dates change. I actually had to move a couple games to next month's list while I was preparing this video. It's kind of annoying. If a date changes, I will not feature the game again because it's already on your wish list if you desire it. Thanks for watching. Bye.